Yep, and this is called Fishermen of Men. So how would you correlate or how would you relate your fishing experience with going out there and winning souls for Christ?
Well, it just inevitably when you're on the water and you're seeing the sunrise, you just inevitably feel a deep connection.
Mm.
When you start looking around, there's only one thing that could have created the beauty that we see, and everybody that's with me. I'll say this, Zach, I'm not pushy with my Christianity. Get me on a podcast and want me to talk about it, I'm not going to talk about it. And everybody knows that I'm faithful and what I'm about, but I'm not going to be that guy that's beating somebody down. I'll slowly try to drag them into the church, but I'm not going to just browbeat somebody. I'm not always talking about it. But it does come up on the boat inevitably. And I think it just gives a good platform for me to share my story. A lot of my story, we have 60, 75 minutes here. Well, I have 9 hours with guys on the boat, 10 hours. I can really tell a story in 10 hours. And if I had heard my story in the 9 hour boat session at 18 or 19, I may not have ventured down the path that I did. I never heard that story. So I just try to tell my story because my dad got addicted in his 60s. So if I have a guy in my boat that's 40s that's never had an addiction problem or anything, he still needs to know, hey, you go get that back surgery and that doctor prescribes you pain pills. You don't need them.
Yeah.
You don't have to have them. Pain is natural. Pain is good. Pain is weakness leaving the body, cuz. Come on. So if I got a guy in my boat, I'm just always trying to let them know where I came from, how you get there, and then the biggest part is how you get out. Because we can all get ourselves into messes, but I don't think anybody can get it out on their own.
I love that you said that about having real time with a man on a boat because my best friend, one of my best friends, Jeff DeWeird, he's in Michigan and he recently took a job and he's former military, jumped out of planes, paratrooper, retired, doesn't need a job, but chose to get a job as a golf instructor because he's great at golf. So he wants to go out there and be with a man on the golf course for 4 hours. And that's his vision. He's very philosophy minded too. So his very mission is to, pour into others and share the news about God and what God's done in his life with a man out there for 4 hours. So he loves that one-on-one, in-person connection.
And I also think if I'm talking to somebody at lunch, they got their phone, they got eavesdropping on the conversation over here. I'm getting the waitress. I need another drink. Can I get some more hot sauce? There's no fault to the person at lunch with me. There's just too many distractions.
That's right.
I get into a story, the waitress comes, I forget, it's just too many distractions. When I get on that boat, there's no distractions. And when I start telling a story, it's usually so captivating that the other person just shuts up and listens. And that's all I want. I want time to try to keep other people from making the same mistake that I made.
Have you experienced the fruit of that with a man before on the boat?
Well, I've never worked with somebody that's been actively addicted. So it's hard to measure. Did I keep somebody from, all of my friends now are clean.
Well, not just addiction, but more so like revealing truth about the goodness of God out there.
Oh, yeah. It's hard when I'm talking about it, it's hard for somebody to argue.
Right.
When I tell you the stories that I've told you, it's going to be hard for you, Zach, to sit here and say, God didn't do all that.
I know.
Well, then who did? Look who you're talking to. It sure wasn't me. I'm not an MBA degree. I'm just Corey. And without him, there's no me. So that's all I'm trying to, a lot of my friends believe, like my buddy that passed away, but didn't go to church. And I don't have any qualms about somebody that doesn't go to church. It is what it is. I want them to believe and everything. But my main goal is to get people to Calvary. I think we've maybe, got a handful of families that started coming because of us, but that's what tries to go down in the boat. Tell my story, give people an insight of the way that I saw. And I think just trying to let people know that he is the answer, no matter what. Well, I still have struggles daily. I may have a little bit of money and a little bit of comfort, but I still lean on him daily for all kinds of stuff. I don't care how much money or how much fame anybody has, they still deal with the same amount of troubles and stress as I did in 2002, homeless. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and all they got to do is lean on the Lord.
If this is your first time here, I would greatly appreciate you to subscribe to the show. We're really trying to grow the YouTube. Whether you found us on Apple, Spotify, you can subscribe on there as well. And if you would like to support the ministry in any way, you can go to ilikebirdsministry.com and you can support us there financially, or you can even buy our first book, my first book, 21 Days in Africa, where it's about my mission trip to Africa. My man Corey bought one when he came out to Man's Night, and it was greatly appreciated.